So kind of like we asked Coach, it's a couple extra days for you guys to come off that ODU game and head into this one. How much have you seen those few days to just kind of prepare help so far?
Yeah, I mean, when you play a season, it's a long season. It goes by fast, but it's a grind for sure. Not only mentally but physically as well. It can take a toll on your body if you're not on top of things. But like you said, Coach Growski and the rest of the AT staff, they do a great job behind the scenes with the sports science stuff. So specifically talking about the 2 days, they've been great. Obviously, we're still locked in on the task ahead with Texas State up next. But for physically, the 2 days have been amazing.
And then for you coming off the injury, how are you feeling up to this point, and how much are you feeling a little bit more comfortable now that you've gotten more reps with some of these guys?
Yeah, I've been feeling really good. Even after being cleared, there's still a continual process back to recovery. Just making sure I stay on top of things strength-wise, that I don't, lose any of the power that I've gained, that I continue to add power to it. Obviously, we lift during the week, but just staying on top of that, doing extra stuff, being in the treatment room early before practice, late after practice, just making sure I'm staying on top of things. But my body's been feeling great.
As you've had a chance to review and assess the ODU tape, what were kind of some of the common themes you all noticed for the offensive consistency for a complete 60 minutes?
Yeah, everybody was where they were supposed to be when they were supposed to be. So just that consistency piece, we've always had the effort, but just that consistency and discipline within each and every play is what really allowed us to click, play in, play out, drive in, drive out, and finish, what was it? I think it was 7 for 7 or something like that in the red zone for touchdowns. So just have to continue to up the consistency and discipline.
Coach Chesney talks a lot about good on good. How has that benefited you all going up against this defense every day and practicing what they do to opponents?
I mean, they give crazy looks. I mean, even in practice, we get the show before the show. So, just from a quarterback's perspective, that's great for the mental reps. What I kind of call like that unconscious knowledge, just when you come to the line of scrimmage, you can kind of get an idea and kind of put the pieces of the puzzle together. This guy's here. He went this way. He went that way. Okay, when I see this type of defense, there's only certain ways that he can go because of numbers or whatever hash we're on. So just the different looks that they present as a quarterback personally, I mean, I'm grateful for it.
Similar to what I asked Coach, even if it's not clicking on the pass game, it seems like Wayne has been just the steady presence all year. Where have you kind of seen him grow the most to be that reliable running back that you guys have?
Yeah, well, I mean, he said we have a deep running back room. Everybody in that room can go. And when the door opened, Wayne he answered the calling. It's always been there. He's always had the work ethic. He's always had the consistency, the discipline. I've seen it even when he was wearing 25 and Yamir was wearing 20. But just, when you put in that much work, things are bound to happen. So, I'm grateful and, I'm happy for him to see that, how his story started. It looks way different from how, it's going right now.
And then for you, I know when things haven't gone right this year that you've been the one to shoulder it and kind of taken that leadership role and said that you're going to be the one to correct it. From you coming in as a freshman to now, where and what has kind of helped your leadership get to this point where you can, stand in front of people and say, hey, that's my fault, I'll fix it, even if it wasn't completely you?
I mean, it's just experiences. The way I see it as a quarterback, the quarterback and the center are the only two people that touch the ball every single offensive possession. So with that, I believe there's a great amount of responsibility that, I take on, that I shoulder, that just naturally comes with the position. And I wouldn't necessarily say it's about pointing the blame or, putting it on other people or myself per se, but just the way that I see it. I feel like I have the, the skills, talents, and abilities to, help my guys get in the right positions. And whether I have to communicate that, through film, out there on the field, I just believe it's my job as the quarterback to make sure that everybody's on the same page.
Texas State, what are your early impressions of them?
Yeah, I mean, all three levels of the defense, they're athletic. They're bigger guys. They're fast. They can run. And, I mean, there's probably never a time where you stop the tape and you don't see at least 7, 8 hats, near the football, or if not there, they're pursuing it with their all. So those are just the early thoughts that I've seen. They can bring a different amount of pressures from different presentations, and Just you can tell by their movements that those guys have some IQ on defense.
You talk about the pressures. It seems like you guys get better and better each week at handling when teams pressure. Would you kind of agree with that? And if so, what's kind of been the difference for you guys in that department?
I mean, it's just the communication. A lot of it, I believe, it falls on me. Just knowing it's film study. I mean, film study's your cheat sheet. Obviously, they don't have to do what they do on film, but just kind of going against good on good with our defense, it gets me in the mindset of you can't take a sack, can't take a sack, can't take a sack. So when I study my plays, play in and play out, I'm looking, where can I go? Where can I dump this ball off? If nobody's open downfield and I can't get out the pocket, is there somebody I could, dirt it at their feet in the backfield? That's a eligible receiver. So just all that together kind of has allowed us to eliminate the sacks and just everybody being where they're supposed to be.
Kind of going off that, how much has the game maybe slowed down for you now that you're in your second year as the starter and being able to see those things from your film study?
Yeah, I mean, I keep going back to it, but just kind of like that unconscious knowledge that you get from those repetitions, knowing where the ball might go, pre-snap, post-snap, guys move in different places. Now you know how to react to that because you've seen it before, whether that's on film or another rep or good on good. So I know I still have a lot of knowledge left, within the game. There are people who have years and years ahead of me, coaches, other players. So now it's just on me to go out and seek that information, which I will do.
Kind of piggybacking on that, where do you see your biggest growth on the field from even a year ago to now or earlier this year? Do you see some growth in what you've done on the field?
Yeah, I see a lot of growth, especially in the taking sacks category. I'm still working on, scrambling outside of the pocket and making sure that I get the ball, I distribute the ball in the right places. But one thing I will say is I feel like my leadership has stepped up a little bit more. I'm still working on that vocality part and being my true and authentic self. So, just finding little ways to, speak life into other guys, or if at the time I don't feel like speaking is necessary, then how can my actions convey that, we need some urgency, or how can I uplift other guys by my actions?
You had a chance to dance a lot this past weekend in the end zone. How do you determine which dances you do? Q's always up in the booth with me talking, he did this dance, saw it on TikTok. How do you go about your celebrations?
Yeah, I mean, I've just seen with the game of football, it could be taken away, in whatever way or whatever fashion. And it's hard to get in that end zone. So, I've always danced. I say some of it's TikTok, some of it's, I'll see the NFL guys, what's going viral. So, I mean, it just depends on week to week. But, I mean, it's just the joy that, I get from playing this game.
You mentioned, it can be taken away. And you had again, you didn't miss games. You missed the bowl game, but it was in the offseason. You still couldn't practice. Did it give you a different mindset now? Do you have a whole different perspective on the game right now and the game that you love? Yeah.
I feel like that hunger and that passion has always been there to get better, to continue to get better. But just the gratitude portion, I believe, has, upped a tremendous amount. Just, going out there with the guys, just taking every moment in, whether that's practice, joking in the locker room or whatever, just being more where my feet are. I think that's where I've seen the most improvement.
Talk about Landon Ellis a little bit and the connection you have with him. He's been so solid for you, and you guys have a good connection right now.
Yeah, I mean, Landon, he's a solid guy. He's a real smart guy, savvy guy, and he cares. And that's the common theme that I'm sure you guys hear a lot, or you guys will see. Just, the guys care. They put in the extra work, and anytime you have that around you, that's the equation for greatness.
We'll see how it is on Tuesday with the crowd, and again, a Tuesday game. But can you guys take a lot from the Georgia State game where you had to kind of create your own energy and it wasn't always there? Can you take something from that in a game where maybe there could or could not be a big crowd? Yeah.
I've never been to San Marcos. I've never played on a Tuesday. This is my first time. But, it's like coming out here and practicing from the standpoint of, you have to focus on the task at hand. Our task at hand out there, practice is getting better. Becoming more disciplined and preparing for the game. So when we get down to San Marcos, it doesn't matter if we're playing in front of 50 or 10,000, 20,000, however many their stadium holds. But that's a winning program, so I believe the crowd will be a factor. But when we get down there, the focus isn't about the crowd. It's about the guys to the left and to the right of you and making sure you do your due diligence to help the team win.
know we put this out on social media after the game, but Phoenix Sproul's giving you the call to talk about your performance. How nice is it knowing that these guys that you've crossed paths with and played with in the past are still here in your corner calling you after these kind of performances that you had over the weekend?
Yeah, it's amazing. It just speaks to the brotherhood that James Madison brings about all the guys that play at the university. That's just a small portion of what the public gets to see behind the scenes, and it's just amazing, and I'm definitely blessed and extremely grateful to have that amount of support in my corner.
You guys are coming off probably about as unreal of a second half performance as you guys could have seen. 1 yard in the third quarter, 9 in the fourth quarter. What were you guys doing that kind of allowed you to have that much of a shutout defense against a good ODU team?
Nothing much. We were just doing what we were coached to do. Just had to find our trust in each other, and the whole game, it was just how well can we do our jobs.
How much motivation can you take and energy can you take from that game to help you push into this week of preparation for what's kind of a weird Tuesday night game?
I mean, that game has a life of its own. We have to find new motivation because every game presents a new challenge, and just this team we're coming up next is going to be probably one of the biggest challenges we faced this year so far.
And I know Coach and Zoe have both talked about having those couple extra days of rest and work to get ready for it. How much has it helped you guys just kind of, get a little bit healthier and get a little bit time off of your feet before you head down there?
I think I slept a full 8 hours. I'm kidding. No, but just having the extra time to relax. Coach Groski's working with us. Just being around the trainers a lot, being in the training room, getting the extra rehab we need. It's just been a blessing.
You talk about the challenge in Texas State. Go into that a little bit more. What challenges do they present?
From watching the film, this quarterback is one of the most dynamic I've seen probably since I've been playing college football. And the fact that he's a redshirt freshman just adds to his resume. He's a dynamic playmaker. He can throw the ball anywhere. He can run whenever he wants to. And this running back runs hard. He's a downhill runner. He can juke you out. He can just run you over, and it's just insane. The O-line, they got that right guard. He's about 6'6", 370. He just eats people up. Like, I haven't seen anyone on the film consistently get past him. He's a standout player. Center, really quick, really big. He kind of leads the O-line. Right tackle, another big guy. He moves incredibly well. This O-line is very athletic and very strong.
Talk about just your role on this defense and the sense of, I feel like when, say, a novice fan were to look at the box score and see your numbers, they might go, okay, but I feel like your job is so critical because if it's not for you, it probably doesn't allow the opportunities that your teammates get to make plays. Can you kind of just talk about that a little bit?
I mean, I'm just a nose guard. Me and Taddeo take this position really well because, I can't speak for him, but I love it because I've never really been one for the spotlight. I'm more like watching my friends and people I really care about succeed. So if I got to take on two blocks to free up Aiden or Gannon, I'll do that gladly because I know they're going to make the play. They're going to let the light shine on them, and I'll just be like, thank you.
With that, though, talk about how you've grown as a football player. Have you seen yourself grow over these 3 years at JMU, and especially maybe from last year to this year, even earlier from this year?
Oh, yeah. Coming to JMU, I just realized it's not all about me. When I was at my previous institution, I thought I had to make every play. I had to do everything. But coming here and being around these guys, I found people I could trust, and I know that if I don't make the play, somebody else has my back. And just this year alone, I've tried to develop more into a leader. I still don't talk as much. Like, I'll joke around outside the facility, but when I'm here, I'm usually a little bit more quieter. But I try to lead by example because if we're all like just going through the motions and like if I can like bring energy in my own way, people be like, oh, Bush can do it. He's the biggest guy on the team, and just be like, I can do it. So that's my leadership style.
Do you have any dance moves to break out here soon?
I don't know. Everyone keeps telling me to do the sexy Dexy. I don't feel like I'm big enough for that yet.
With you guys being fourth nationally defensively in total defense, first in the Sun Belt, obviously by a wide margin, do the numbers even surprise you by not having an opponent get over 300 yards? Does that even shock you a little bit?
I didn't know that until I didn't know that until yesterday. That's surprising to me because it just goes to show that when we really like trust each other and believe in each other, we can set out to do what we need to do. And just again, with every week's a new challenge, every week's a new opponent. But I just feel like as a competitor, you need to give your best at all times. So they're gonna give us our best, we're gonna give them their best, and that's the respect. Because if I'm competing against you and I do anything less than my best, it's disrespectful.
Why has this defense worked so well in Coach Hitch's first year? What is it about this defense, the guys? Again, you kind of have the core guys, you and Trent and DJ and JT, even Gannon to a degree. But why has this defense been so successful?
Something I've noticed from all the defenses I've been on is just this defense has leadership at every single level. Everyone wants to be a leader, everyone wants to lead, and everyone takes criticism. It's constructive because if you do something well that I don't do, I'm going to listen to you. Like Taddeo's really twitchy, and I'm trying to get twitchy. So if he tells me I can do this a little better, I'm like, okay, I can do that. If T-Han says I need to move better on some move calls, I just need to listen to him because in the end, no one's really trying to bring me down. We're all trying to lift each other up because we all have the same goal.
And with you guys on the defensive line, again, you're rotating quite a bit. You mentioned Andrew quite a bit, but at every position, you've got a backup that's, again, could start at a lot of places. Has that been nice to have that this year? And you had it last year a little bit as well, to be able to stay fresh in the second half to do what you've done?
Oh, yeah, it's so nice. Again, talking about Andrew, Kelsbush, T-Lock, Big Mike, Aiden, X, Amar, just having all these guys that could go play anywhere, and they're all here together. It's just like a lot of talent in one room. So it's just, again, it's nice to watch because when I'm on the sideline, I see Andrew out there just making plays. I'm like, wow, that's just it. Because like it's just everyone's a competitor, everyone's an athlete, everyone wants to make plays. So when it's my time to shine, I do what I do, and when it's their time to shine, I'll happily cheer from the sideline.
And you guys kind of push each other, don't you?
Oh, all the time. Just out there, we have games like let's race to the quarterback, let's race to the TFL, let's see who can knock their man back the furthest, and it's just. We do that because we know that in a game, when everything's really on the line, we need to know that we can depend on each other to keep competing no matter what.
And talk about Coach Hitchler a little bit, and just obviously he's done a phenomenal job with what you guys have done. Talk about him and what he's meant to you guys coming in this first year and really kind of bringing you all together.
Being around Coach Hitch is just different because Coach Hitchler is, I don't even know if guru is the right word, because he just, like Coach Chesney said, every week we come in and we diagnose what we've seen on film and what they might do to us and how they might attack us. And I don't know, it just feels like he knows everything that's going to happen. It's just like, there's no way. But then the one time that you don't listen, they hit you with exactly what he said they're going to hit you with. And it just, like, dang, I should have listened. And then he's just like a student of the game. So he tries to teach us everything possible because he's been around a lot of really great players. So he tries to teach us how to read backfield sets, how to read formations, how to find keys and all that stuff. And it's just, I don't know. I've never been around a coach that like really cared about players learning, you know?
Some of the other guys on defense have mentioned that Coach Hitch has brought this idea of just solely buying into whatever needs to be done. And, you see JT blitzing now. DJ has slotted out into corner more than playing nickel. What is it about him that brings that wanting to buy into this defense as a whole as a defensive coordinator?
Well, he just he really cares about us. He cares about football. He cares about winning. So we buy in because he's like us in a sense, because he's probably one of the most competitive defensive coordinators I've ever seen, and he competes in every single thing he does. And so just being around him, it just gives us energy, and like we try to reciprocate it.